Je, wajua ukulima unatawala uchumi wa Kenya na ina uajiri wa hali ya juu? Basi hapa Imani Television tunakuletea kipindi cha ukulima mazao bora, upate kufahamishwa ukulima wa aina mbalimbali na kujifunza kutoka kwa wakulima waliobobea katika sekta hii na wataalamu wengine. Jiunge nami Zerida Chepkosgei kila Jumanne saa 2 usiku upate kujuzwa mengi.
Welcome as we go to science. For deaf people out there, I'm requesting you to join this program.
Thank you so much for watching Imani Television. This is the #1 TV station that builds our faith in Jesus Christ. I hope you had a lovely day. Welcome to News Hour today, being the 18th day, the Tuesday of July 2023. Good evening from wherever you're watching us from. We have a lot lined up for you in our bulletin tonight. You can always reach us through our SMS line 0746580788. And you can always as well reach us through our social media handles at Imani Television on Facebook and Imani Television on YouTube. Let's get our top stories tonight.
Kule kwetu anasema kama mtu anatembea usiku hutaji mambo ya nyoka, kwa sababu ukianza kutaja kuna nyoka unaweza kumuona.
As a nutritionist, this is a dream come true, because it will mean that all these children every single day they'll get fresh, nutritious meals sourced from our local farmers.
Because we usually have mortality of from 10 to 15 babies, from 10 to 20 happen.
By paying just 1,000 in a year, if they pass on, unfortunately, their family are given 150,000 shillings within 48 hours.
But we have a problem with expecting that all the taxes will be paid one time by the same businesses that are not doing well right now.
The beginning of our commitment as we plan to add more centers while also renovating and equipping existing ones.
Welcome to the broadcast. My name is BARASA SAENYI and Phyllis Miriko Arunga is our sign language interpreter tonight. Leaders of the Azimio coalition have criticized the government for withdrawing security personnel assigned to opposition leaders. Speaking in Nairobi, The leaders, including Martha Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka, have asserted that it is their right to receive protection and they will not tolerate intimidation. They also asked the police to be professional and resist being turned into a killer squad for hire by politicians and for a regime suffering acute legitimacy deficits. According to them, the planned 3-day protest starting tomorrow until Friday will proceed as scheduled by the coalition.
We have reached the decision that we shall fear not those who kill the body but are not able to kill the soul. So even with the intimidation of withdrawal of security, Azimio confirms that the protests planned for Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday this week are on as earlier announced. We appeal to the police to be professional, to resist being turned into a killer squad for hire by politicians and a regime suffering acute legitimacy deficit. We appeal to our police to maintain their professionalism that, once again, that has been seen from some of its members who have participated in UN missions across the globe, with enhanced individual careers and who have lifted the image of our country. We appeal to them to resist being used to provide cover to tribal militia that kills people in the name of policing.
Now, the Law Society of Kenya has offered to mediate between the government and the opposition towards achieving a lasting solution to the challenges currently facing the country. LSK President Eric Theuri has termed the uncertainty and unrest caused by the protests a detriment to national development. The society also condemned the use of excessive force on protesters, calling on the Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA, to investigate the use of excessive force on protesters. Let's watch.
Been held have created an atmosphere of tension, an atmosphere of anxiety that makes it untenable for public order to prevail. Seen the agitation that has been there from the members of the public. That agitation must be respected. That agitation demonstrates that there is a feeling within the country that there are issues that need to be addressed. A call for national dialogue is the answer to all those challenges that we continue to face. And it is for that reason that we not only call for national dialogue, but we also offer, as the Law Society, to give our experts.
Members of the County Assembly, the MCAs, have called off their 3-month strike to allow the Senate to investigate their salary grievances. The strike, initiated by the Association of Members of County Assemblies, AMCA, was to push for a salary review from the current 86,000 Kenyan shillings to the previous amount of 165,000 Kenyan shillings, which had been reduced by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. The association accused the County Assembly Forum of misleading the SRC regarding their salaries and ward fund. However, the leaders warned that another strike could be called if their demands were not met.
We are not calling off the strike. Kile tumefanya ni kwamba tumepatia Senate mwezi moja ili iweze kuwa ili tuambie progress. If at all there is no progress, definitely we go back to our strike. Kwa hivyo Tuesday all assemblies zitakutana tena ili ziweze kuendelea mambo ya budget, mambo ya planning na mambo ya oversight.
Kuanzia kesho tuko assemblies ili sasa tukibizane na mambo ya budget. So kuanzia kesho mtatuona tukirudi katika bunge zetu, na pia tutakuwa sasa tukifanya ile kazi ambayo tulikuwa tumepewa na wananchi.
I must say that I'm happy that the strike that has gone on since 3rd of May this year has been called off within the county assemblies within the country. It's been agonizing time because we know the work that the assemblies do. We know that this is the single unit that defends devolution at the base level.
Now, moving forward, the Kenya Women Teachers Association, KEWOTA, has launched a program aimed at empowering its members to be self-reliant and improve themselves. This move comes after the women teachers demanded better payment. Among the projects targeted for success are accident insurance coverage and inclusion in digital platforms in government laboratories.
Thank you for the good work. When a teacher gets an accident, by paying just 1,000 in a year, if they pass on, unfortunately, their family are given 150,000 shillings within 48 hours. If they lose a limb permanently, they are given 150,000 to cover for that. When they are in hospital because of an accident, they are paid for a bill contribution of 20,000. When they lose their eye or their tooth, 10,000 for everything that is lost or injured. And while they are away from work, there's a small amount of money they are given per week to sustain them because they are not earning income. And that is one of the things that we have brought them. It is a program which we have signed an MOU with Direct Line Insurance for 3 years. So we are encouraging teachers to come on board. It is the cheapest but the best.
Tunaambia members wetu wa join kitu inaitwa table banking. Table banking ni ile mnachanga kado kidogo tu. Mnachanga, alafu mkimaliza kuchanga, mmoja anachukua, anarudisha na interest. Hiyo ni mzuri sana sababu inaendelea kukuza. Sio lazima tuwe kila wakati tunaenda kwa chayo. Tunaenda kutafuta wapi. Even sisi tunaweza fanya hiyo table banking, na hiyo ndio inafanya wamama wale mnaona wanauza mboga. Wako na kila sijui Jumapili ama ile siku wameweka. Wako na hiyo, wanapeleka pesa, wanasema sisi tutakuwa tukilipa 200. So hiyo 200 na mwingine anatoa, wanafanya kazi na unaona wanajenga manyumba. Na sole to say, hata sisi walimu wengine tunakomboa.
And now students from all over the country can now smile as the Ministry of Education sets to expand the school feeding program countrywide. Speaking in Nairobi County, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu and his National Treasury counterpart Mr. Njuguna Ndungu say that they will work together for the betterment of education countrywide while signing the memorandum with the Nairobi County government, which has already set Kenya shillings 1.7 million for the program.
Very important that children get nutritious meals for their growth and development. As a nutritionist, this is a dream come true because it will mean that all these children every single day they'll get fresh nutritious meals sourced from our local farmers.
We have budgeted already, Waziri, Professor and Waziri Machogu, 1.7 billion shillings as a county government. The 1.7 billion shillings includes 500 for the remaining kitchens. The outcomes in terms of their mental health, because of the nutrition that our children are getting, we are fortifying these foods. We are working on the World Food Program standards that we are abiding by, that are international standards.
This particular year, of course, we will be able to have many more counties being included and benefiting out of this program. Nairobi County being one of them. We are going to Nakuru, we are going to Mombasa, and as I said, progressively, as funds are made available, we will be able to cover each and every county of this country.
We are here in reality, so there could be resource scarcity, but what you do is to plan ahead of time. But we will make sure that we prioritize county funds, even if it means those county funds that are just first of all going to cater for school meals program.
All right, let's move forward. And religious and business communities from Kiambu County now want the government to initiate dialogue with the opposition to avert further destruction of property and the economy. The group has also urged the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition to halt the demonstrations for the greater good of the country. Led by the Secretary General of the Federation of Evangelical and Indigenous Christian Churches of Kenya, Bishop David Munyiri, the leaders noted that the true dialogue, a permanent solution for social, economic and political challenges bedeviling the country, can be achieved. Let's watch.
We are talking here about changing history. So probably we support the government in the issue of changing the history of debts, especially debts. We wouldn't want our children and grandchildren to be the one who will pay the debts taken by the government. But we have a problem with expecting that all the taxes will be paid one time by the same businesses that are not doing well right now. But each time we hear a lot of hard talk that we will protect, we will make sure this doesn't happen. But when the protests come, we see the damages. So let the government come out and protect the people from damage of their property.
Mimi naangalia wananchi sasa, kuna shida nyingi sana. Binadamu anataka kula. Tukianza kupigana na mambo ya vyama itakuwa haifai.
Now, in other news, over 20 newborn children reportedly lost their lives every month due to lack of proper equipment at Naivasha Level 4 hospital. The hospital officials noted that a range of critical facilities within the hospital were dysfunctional, adding that the hospital lacks adequate staff due to lack of funding and debts. County officials vowed to offset the debt and revive the hospital.
Mortalities usually are because of lack of all those instruments machines. Give you the average, because we usually have mortality of from 10 to 15 babies, from 10 to 20 happen.
The county government has promised to settle part of that debt. As at now, we have forwarded some of those debts to the county, and they are making arrangements to settle.
Hata wodi za wamama unapata ya kwamba vitu basics, sukari hakuna, koko hakuna. Kwa hivyo unaona ya kwamba hiyo ni hatari.
We have taken note of everything that is lacking in that department.
Now, normal services have finally resumed at Busia Referral Hospital and other public facilities in the county after healthcare workers reached an agreement with the county government. This comes 3 days after the healthcare workers officially went on strike, citing negligence by their employer and a lack of supplies and medications in public hospitals. Philomen Nakoche, the Secretary General of the Health Workers Union in the county, stated that all healthcare workers should return to work within 24 hours as a lasting solution has been reached to end the strike.
Kwa maana ni serikali mpya ambayo sio ile ambayo tumekuwa tukizuzana nayo kule nyuma. Tumeona tuwapee muda ili waweze kutekeleza haya matakwa, na ijapokuwa tunajua kuna changamoto, but sekta ya afya ni sekta ambayo inafaa kupewa kipaumbele, na ni kuwatahadharisha tu kwamba ikiwa hawatatekeleza tutarudi, tutawaambia kwamba mumeshindwa kutekeleza matakwa yetu, na pia tena tunaweza chukua mkondo mwingine ambao tena ni kugoma kama tulivyogoma.
Jumbe na nataka kuhakikisha wakazi wa Busia wote ya kuwa tumejitayarisha kama Wizara ya Afya kuhakikisha ya kuwa mnapata huduma zile zinazofaa. Kwa hivyo tumejiandaa na wahudumu wetu pia wametuambia kuwa tukitekeleza haya matakwa ile alikuwa nayo, warudi kazini wakiwa na hiyo moyo wa kushirikiana na wagonjwa na kufanya bidii, kwa vile sasa wameona ni kama county government imewasikiza na tumeelewana, na kwa hivyo wako na nia nzuri na wanaenda nje hapo kutekeleza kazi yao vizuri.
Now, the candidates vying for the position of the Archbishop of the Methodist Church are seeking transparency in tomorrow's election. led by acting Bishop Isaiah Ndeye and the prospective candidate Catherine Mutua. The aspirants expressed these sentiments in Nanyuki town during their annual men's sports synod of Mount Kenya region in the church. The election for the top leaders of the church has attracted 5 contestants, including Archbishop Isaiah Ndeye, Reverend Justus Bundi, Reverend Catherine Mutua, Reverend Harrison Mwiti, and Reverend Samuel Kathia. Let's watch.
I would wish everybody to wear the spirit of reconciliation. I would wish everybody to wear the spirit of healing. Na naomba kila mmoja, unajua kule kwetu huwa wanasema I come from coast. Kule kwetu wanasema kama mtu anatembea usiku hutaji mambo ya nyoka, kwa sababu ukianza kutajataja kuna nyoka unaweza kumuona. So for us we should not even be thinking of going to court. We should not even be thinking about fairness. We should not even be thinking of sijui nani atanifanyia nini. What we should be thinking about is praying. Praying so that the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God, may permeate and move and hover and direct and lead so that we do things in the right way.
I'm respecting you, our acting presiding bishop, and I am praying for fairness, that let us have a level praying ground for all of us. The other contestants, sisi wote tufanya uchaguzi ambaye kila mtu atasikia amepewa nafasi yake vizuri, and the one that wins. Hii kanisa sisi wote tutasimama mbele yake, and I'm rebuking the spirit of divisions thereafter. I am rebuking the spirit of going to court, but if there will not be fairness, I'm afraid we might go the wrong direction.
Various stakeholders from the education sector, including education officials from all 47 counties, gathered in Turkana County to discuss issues related to early childhood education. The guest of honor at the event was Governor Eric Mutai of Kericho. Halan Emodio tells us more about the news.
A national conference was held in Lodwar, Turkana County, bringing together various stakeholders from the educational sectors to discuss the development of early childhood studies. The attendees from Turkana County highlighted the challenges faced by pastoralist children. But despite the county vast size, efforts have been made to establish over 1,000 early childhood schools.
The county has allocated resources to construct 29 new model ECDs centers across the region, across the county. This is only the beginning of our commitment as we plan to add more centers while also renovating and equipping existing ones.
Speakers emphasized the importance of implementing policies that support children with disabilities from poor backgrounds.
Between children between 6 and 13 years, if the parent is not there, it will be in an interest to get to know how we can be able to cater for that age of a child.
The guest of honor, Governor Eric Mutai of Kericho County, took the opportunity to address the gathering and raise concern about food scarcity and hunger among parents and children.
Michael Kijana Wamalwa, the late Phoebe, His Excellency, asked a question one time that today we're also going to ask ourselves, how is the child? That question was asked so long ago in Geneva, and today as we sit here again, the same question comes again resounding in our minds, how is the child?
Providing meals for children at school was identified as crucial, along with the policies to improve the working environment for early childhood teachers, who play a significant role in educating and nurturing young children. Reporting for Imani Television, I'm Emodia Alan.
Now, the government has, through the Crop Development Principal Secretary Harsama Kelo, and the Agriculture and Food Authority Acting Director General Willis Odi, defended its opposition to the proposal to expunge a section of the AFA Act to allow for the exportation of raw cashew nuts, pyrethrum, bixa and macadamia, among other food products, without the approval of Agricultural Cabinet Secretary, saying they were keen on growing the agro-processing capacity. During an appearing before the Senate Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries Committee, the Senator demanded to know why the value of macadamia nuts had dropped drastically from an average of 200 shillings per kilo to 20 shillings per kilo. Let's watch.
As it is now, a kilo of macadamia is selling at 20 shillings. After all the work that the farmer does, from the planting all the way taking care of the crop until harvesting, 20 shillings. I really wonder if your interest as AFA is to protect the farmer or to side with the cartels.
I feel the ban which began in 2009 has seen the growth in this industry, despite the problem that we are currently facing of very low return to the farmer.
Actually, macadamia was one of the sectors which were badly affected by the COVID outbreak. And it has not recovered up to now from the COVID disaster. We believe that very soon it will come out of the price turbulence.
Sisi maseneta tunasema mpaka saa hii hatujaridhika na yale mnatuambia mambo ya hafa. Tunataka tuende hii bill tuipeleke kwa Senate, ipitishe ndio iwe free market.
Well, that's the end of our bulletin tonight, but before we wind up, remember that you can always continue following us on our website, which is imaniradio.org, to get our news updates as soon as they break, and our social media handles, that is Imani Television on Facebook and Imani Television on YouTube. And that's the end of our bulletin tonight. My name is Barasa SAENYI. Phyllis Miriko Arunga is our sign language interpreter. Have a good night.